Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Telescope Podcast. Thank you for listening.
What's up, everybody? Everyone in this place, if you could do a handstand, I want to see your feet up in the air right now. Wave them around, that's right. Woo!
Hello, welcome to the Telescope Podcast, a show where we look at geek culture through the spyglass of faith. Welcome to another episode. So hey, did you know that scientists and engineers routinely look to nature to find design solutions for products that they're building and to get inspiration for things they want to do? It's true, and I got this email in my inbox from sciencenews.org, and it had a link to an article that caught my eye. And that article is titled, "A New Soft Bot Mimics Octopuses and Inchworms to Climb Walls." It's so cool. So the article goes on to explain this soft robot that's lightweight, that they looked at how octopi have suction cups, right, to attach to things, and how the inchworm moves, and they did like a hybrid of those two designs to create this robot that can scale walls, it can go underwater, it can carry 5 times its own weight. It is sweet, and it's totally taking design from nature and implementing it into a robot. And it just kind of, got my imagination cranking. I was thinking to myself, what if the military took that and created a drone out of it? Like we thought the Terminator was going to be this metal man, right, with a machine gun. No, the Terminator is actually going to be a soft inchworm robot that's going to have AI and a machine gun. Cause of death, inchworm bot, right? It's going to be terrifying. The inchworm apocalypse. It's going to be a terrible thing. No, but it's just cool. It's cool to look at what they come up with and about how they are inspired by nature. For me, as a person of faith, things like this inspire my faith. It inspires my faith that nature is so full of design, right? And a common line of reasoning that's out there is that, well, look at nature. Blind nature has had eons and eons to refine these designs, right? But even in that statement, you get this smuggled in a thing that nature is trying to refine anything. Now, I understand that if nature has information, if it has the raw material there, then natural selection can bring the best to the top. But how do those designs get put there in the first place? How does novel information get created in the first place? See, that's the problem that has not been answered. When you start looking at design in nature, and how nature is full of design, right? The DNA is a multi-digit computer code, a digital code, and there's DNA and RNA and epigenetic material, and all this information put into nature, and it's amazing. I'm totally inspired by it. So anyway, I got to thinking about this, the worm bot, and I looked up some other designs. So in Japan, they have a bullet train, and they had a problem because the bullet train was causing sonic booms and disturbing the peace. So they looked at the kingfisher bird, right? The kingfisher, and how elegant it was designed, and how it could slice into the water as it dove for prey. And they took cues from how the beak and the face were structured, and they created a train that could slice through the air and not create sonic booms. And there's just example after example, right? How sharks fight germs, getting water in the desert. Like there's this lizard that can extract water from the air and keep itself alive in the desert, and they're using that to give people water in the desert. They look at mosquitoes. You ever noticed that a mosquito can land on you? You don't feel it. It can stab you with its needle nose. You don't feel it. I mean, sometimes you feel it, but a lot of times you don't even feel it. It can suck your blood like a little vampire, and you don't even feel it. And you look down and you're like, man, you've got a full tummy full of my blood, right? And you whack it and you get a big blood spot on you, right? So they've taken the design of the mosquito needle and applied it to our needles to make needles less painful. So cool. Last one that I found that I'm just going to mention quick is the termite mound. This one's worth mentioning. There's a mall, there's a shopping center. It's the Eastgate Shopping Center and Office Block in Zimbabwe. It's in Harare. Anyway, it's in Zimbabwe. It's a city in Zimbabwe, and this architect, Mike Pierce, studied the structure of termite mounds. Today, the Eastgate uses 10% of the energy required by similar conventional buildings. Eastgate's energy savings also allow its rental rates to be lower. So cool. I mean, this termite mound literally looks like a turd on the savannah, right? It's just a big pile of dirt, but it's ingenious. It's structured to, keep them warm at night, and then the termites actually open and close these vents, sometimes to let air out, sometimes to let air in. And scientists have looked at it and implemented it into a shopping center. It's amazing. And so, it inspires my faith. I hope it inspires your faith. And, I just want to, leave you with that, in my opinion, matter plus time plus chance cannot create the amazing designs that are all around in nature. And I am completely inspired by it, right? So there you go. There's the show for today. Do you have any thoughts? How are you inspired by nature? Do you have any examples? Do you want to offer a counter perspective? I mean, I know there's the panda's thumb argument, right? Like the panda's thumb is almost an imposable thumb, but not quite. And why would a designer make a thumb like that, right? There's that question. Then there are examples of what you would call less good designs in nature. So that's all stuff that we could discuss. There's an answer to that. So in posing that question to myself, I guess I just provoked myself. So real quick, I'll throw out my response to it because I'm thinking of it. And if you're listening, you're probably going to be interested. And then if I just cut it off, it's going to be like, oh man, what was he going to say about that? With all designs, there are trade-offs, right? You can't have a design that has it all, right? There's going to be pros and cons to all designs. And so that's one aspect, right? The next thing is take the panda's thumb. You can say, well, why isn't there a joint there? Or, which is kind of the glass half empty approach. Or you can say, wow, how much design and information does it take to create a panda's thumb? It's still amazing. Even if it's an inferior to another thumb, it's still pretty awesome. For example, like if you found a paper airplane, you wouldn't say, well, this is not designed because it's nothing compared to a real airplane, right? You look at the piece of paper and you'd be like, all right, there's a bunch of symmetrical folds and I can see purpose to it. I can throw it and it glides. It's designed, right? So same thing in nature, in my opinion. You see design. So anyway, the discussion can go on and on. If you have a thought you want to share, counter perspective, I welcome it. You can hit me up on email, mysaviorsanthem@gmail.com. On Facebook, My Savior's Anthem Music and Podcasting. Check out my website, mysaviorsanthem.com, and take care of yourself. God bless. Bye-bye.
What's up, everybody? Everyone in this place, if you can do a handstand, I want to see your feet up in the air right now.